What's up, YouTube? Brandon here with Beard Guy EDC, coming back at you guys again with another video today. In today's video, we're going to be running down through a little knife talk again, but today's video we're going to be talking about why you might want to purchase a higher end knife rather than a big box store brand like a Walmart knife or a Canadian Tire knife. Basically, it all comes down to the quality of the materials and the attention to detail and the tolerances of the knife. But without giving too much away here in the intro, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm grateful to all my subscribers, everyone who takes the time to leave me a comment and maybe some constructive criticism or let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Anybody who's watching my videos, I just want to say thank you to all you guys. It's been a blast so far making this content for the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am because I am having a wicked time. But without any further rambling, let's jump into this video and explain to you guys why I think it's worth your while to spend $200 on a knife instead of $20. Yes, they'll do the same thing, but there's some more behind it that you might want to listen to. So enjoy the video and have a great day, you guys. Okay, you guys. In today's knife talk video, we're going to be running down through some of the possible reasons that a $220 knife or a $250 knife is better than a $30 knife or a $20 knife. It's not so much that they're better in any way. Like a lot of folks say, there's not much that this $250 knife does that this $20 knife can't do. They will both cut the same shit. They mostly will perform the same. Obviously, this ZT is going to be a bit more sturdy. It's definitely more built tough. It's a very rock solid knife. The buck here, you can tell it's cheap. The plastic feels cheap. The lockup is really late. It's almost 100% lockup. But will it perform? 100%. Is it junk? No. I'm a firm believer that all of these knives have a place in my collection. I've used all of them a fair bit, to be honest. The Flatiron was my daily carry for a nice while, actually. I carried it a lot at work because I didn't mind getting it dirty or beating it up because it was cheap and it was also performing well for me. It's the hollow grind. It's very nice. It gives you a good sharp slicey edge, which is great for what I was using it for, opening boxes and the such. Just to show you guys, the action is not great. It's on washers, and like I said, that lockup is really late. I find that's a common trait of cheap knives, a really late lockup. It can be fixed. You can bend it and make it, but it is just a trait that I find on a lot of cheaper knives. The lockup's really late, and it can be a little bit hard to unlock it sometimes. But like I said, the blade on this guy, it has a nice hollow grind that comes down to a very nice edge. So it's super slicey. The downside is it's 7CR17 MOV steel, so it does lose that edge very quickly. I used to keep this guy mirrored, actually. Just after using it once or twice, I lost the mirror. So it doesn't have very good resistance as far as edge retention goes. But if you don't mind sharpening it once a week and stropping it in between, it's a great knife to have in your collection. It's going to perform well. It feels nice in the hand. It's got a big blade, nice finger choice so you can choke up on it, really get in there. All in all, it's a pretty good knife, and it cost me, I believe, $20 on sale at the local Walmart, so it's a great knife. It definitely has a place in the collection. Stainless steel on one side with this over travel stop, and the G10, tan G10 on the other side. You can thumb it open, you can spotty flick it. It's kind of hard because it doesn't have a great action, but it is still a nice knife. The ergos are decent, looks kind of cool, so all in all, it's a pretty decent knife to have in the collection. As I said, I picked it up for about 20 bucks on sale. I think they go for about 40 bucks regular price, but not a bad little knife. The steel could use some upgrades, but you can get a micarta version with D2, and I'm sure that's a much better version of the Flatiron. But this 7CR17, it is what it is. It's a budget steel. It works, but it does lose its edge quickly. Same thing with this Buck 311 Plus Kingsman EDC folder. This one, I believe, is 420J2 or something like that. It's a 420 steel, basically. Again, it does perform. You can spotty flick it. Pretty sharp. I keep it pretty sharp. I sharpen it once a week or so, strap it off in between to maintain it. But in saying that, I have to sharpen these knives once a week when I'm using them heavily, or at least once every 2 weeks if I'm not using it too heavy. But if they're getting any carry time at all, they need to be sharpened frequently. This ZT I've owned for about a month now, and I've sharpened it once. And that wasn't a necessary sharpening. I just kind of wanted to touch the edge up a bit and give it a bit more sheen, a bit more shine. And in that time since, I've stropped it. Hasn't needed to be touched up at all. The Wee Banter, I've had for a nice bit now. I've had for months. I've sharpened it maybe once. I strop it regularly. I want to say once every 2 days I'll strop it. If I'm doing hard use, I'll strop it every day. But like I said, the action on these guys are impeccable compared to the budget knives. It's so easy to flick open. The ZT with the assisted opener and that thwack when it closes with that lock up there, it is just so solid. Like, this thing is rock solid. It almost feels like a fixed blade. The lockup is a little bit late on the ZT, but it's about a 50% lockup compared to like an 80% lockup on the Flatiron. So I definitely take the ZT over the Flatiron. And you're looking at about a 20% lockup on the Banter, maybe around there. So the lockup on the Banter is a little bit early, honestly, but it's not early enough that it's concerning. It's performed well for me, holds up to a lot of heavy-duty tasks, but mostly I use it for light duty. So back to the bare bones of the conversation of this knife talk. Why would I purchase a $220 or a $250 knife over a $20 or a $30 knife? Well, the reason is I'm going to be sharpening this guy a fair bit. Thankfully, I don't use my budget knives too much, but if I was using this guy every day, I'd have a fair bit sharpened off this guy by now, and it's just not going to last as long. Over time, the better materials on the more expensive knives, like the S35VN steel on this, or the S30V steel on this, I sharpen it once a month, and I strop it in between. I'm not losing as much material over a period of time as I am when I'm sharpening these guys weekly and stropping in between. So I'm losing way more material if I'm sharpening these guys all the time to try and keep a good working edge, whereas these two guys will hold the edge for over a month, no trouble, just as long as I strop it in between. Well, it's obviously going to be a longer lasting tool, and it's going to outlive these guys tenfold because of the better materials. Now, having said that, this Flatiron is rocking the G10 scale, the same material scale as these two guys, but the texture on the G10 for this one, it just doesn't feel good. The texture here, you can really lock your hand down on that ZT, even more so on the Wee Banter. It's a real nice texture there. Feels really good in the hand. Beautiful pocket knife. This buck is textured, but it's not a G10 scale. It's like a really, I don't know if you can hear that, nylon-y plastic, so it's got a lot of slip to it. It doesn't have much grip. The only grip you're really getting is from the jimping there on the back, which is not bad, but I would like a more textured material for the handle of that buck. But I did carry that buck, not this exact one. I've gone through about 3 of these now. They go on sale regularly at the Canadian Tire, but I've carried some form of this Buck 311 over the last 5 or 6 years. I used to carry one every day for about a year. It did get wore down pretty quick. I used to keep a mirrored edge on it for a little bit there, but just with those cheaper steels, the mirror doesn't last long, so I gave up keeping a mirrored edge on my cheaper blades. Really at all, to be honest. I kind of been leaning towards a 1000 grit edge with just a bit of stropping because I like a bit of toothiness, a bit of bite. I find it better than an actual polished edge. It was just a stage I went through where I was chasing that mirror polish. It was a skill I wanted to acquire, and I got there. So I know I can do it now, but I just prefer a 1000 grit working edge. So without dragging this knife talk video on for too long for you guys, to sum it all up, every one of these knives has a place in the collection. These two I would use more in a heavy use abuse situation where I don't care so much if I'm going to damage the knife because it's going to be living a shorter life than these guys anyway. So if I'm going to do something where I might be having to pry with a knife, I don't have a pry tool on me, then I'm going to lean towards a cheaper knife because if I break it, I'm just going to buy another one. It doesn't mean that much to me. Having said that, if these are unavailable and these are all I have on me that day and I don't have a pry tool, I need to do something, I'm going to have to do what I have to do. I'm probably going to pick the ZT for that because it is more of a tank and a hard user than the Banter. That's not to say the Banter probably couldn't handle it. It's just the blade stock is a bit thicker on the ZT, and I just prefer a more beefy knife nowadays. I was carrying the Banter just about every day for a bit there, but I'm really liking the beefy knife. So that's the reason why I prefer a more higher end. I won't say a high end because neither of these knives are particularly crazy. These are very attainable knives. Again, if you're getting into customs, you're getting the even better materials, even better craftsmanship and attention to detail. Personally, I don't have any customs in my collection yet, but hopefully that'll be coming. I do have a lot of plans for my collection, but as everybody knows, funds are the big issue for that. But without rambling on too much and dragging this video on, let's show you guys what's in my pockets for today. And I'll start with my flashlight. I'm rocking the Olight i3T EOS. Beautiful light. Super lightweight in the pocket. And I'm rocking the Spyderco Delica 4 in VG10. Super sharp serrations there. Pretty awesome knife. Lightweight as well in the pocket. And that's what I'm rocking tonight. Actually, I also have my Travax Armored Summit with my Timmy's card there on the top, of course. So that's the carry. That's everything I got on me tonight while filming. And a quick reason of why I prefer to buy better material knives over cheaper mass-produced knives. Yes, they will do the same thing at the end of the day, but these do it a little bit better and will do it for a little bit longer. So that's my little knife talk / rant for the day, plus what I'm carrying while I'm filming this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well as all the other content I put out there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell if you want to get notified when I post content. Check out my playlist down below and have a great day. Take her easy.